Good day everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to teach you how to test Wi-Fi network security. It's an ethical hacking tutorial for beginners, as you can see it here. So I'm going to show you how threat actors can have access to your network and how you can protect yourself from being a victim of such. So without much ado, let's get started. Welcome back. Disclaimer before we start. This video is for educational purposes only and it's meant to demonstrate how to secure your own networks. Always ensure you have permission to test a network. Unauthorized access to network is illegal and violates ethical guidelines. Use this knowledge responsibly. Now, before I get started, I need to tell you what you need to know. This is why various Wi-Fi adapters. As you can see, this one supports only 2.4 gigahertz frequency. This one supports both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequency, which is more advantageous. This one also supports both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequency, as you can see it here. Now, make sure that the wireless adapter you are using supports injection, monitor mode, and access point mode. You need to test it. There are commands to test it. Maybe I will do it in a future video. Now, so as I said, this Wi-Fi, this particular one supports aircrack-ng, packet injection, monitor mode, and AP support mode. The same thing with this. But difference here is that this one doesn't support 5 GHz. Why this one supports 5 GHz? And this one is cheaper than this one. This one is very costly. So right now, let me go to my carrier NOS and plug in my Wi-Fi adapter. Okay. So this is my carrier NOS. I'm going to plug in my Wi-Fi adapter, wireless adapter. Before you do this, you must have wireless adapter for you to pen test or test your network security. I will plug it in and see what happens. Don't plug it before turning on your virtual machine or carrier NOS. You must turn on your carrier NOS before plugging it in. So I'm going to plug it in. So I've plugged it in. So I'm going to click on what? Connect to virtual machine. Let's wait for it to respond. So I'm going to click on connect to virtual machine. Click on this virtual machine. So I only have one carrier NOS running, one virtual machine running. So I'll click OK. So if I type something like ifconfig see it wireless 0, it has shown wireless 0. Let me make it bigger so I can see what I'm talking about. Now this is it, ifconfig. If I also type iwconfig, you also see it's on what? Manage mode. We need to set it to monitor mode. Remember what it said, it must support packet injection, monitor mode, and AP mode. Now it's on manage mode, so we must change it to what? Monitor mode. And there are different ways to test it, both packet injection, monitor mode. As you can see, as I'm doing it, you see how to, there are the way to test it, but you can also get something from this video how to test it. Now, first thing to do is to switch this adapter to monitor mode. So I've typed iwconfig and I've seen that it is on what? It is on manage mode on this wireless 0. So what I'm going to do is to put this adapter down by doing sudo. I will run as sudo ifconfig wireless 0 down. I'm going to make it down. So I will put my password. So we'll put it down, kind of anesthesia, so that there will not be any conflict as we are doing our penetration testing. So I'm going to do another command called sudo airmon-ng check kill to kill every process that might interfere in our attack. So I'm going to check kill every process. Now, next I'm going to do is what? Sudo airmon-ng I need to start while and 0. So, okay. If I do, I need to take it up because I brought it down. So I'm going to do sudo. I'm using my up arrow key to go to my previous command. Sudo ifconfig while and 0 down. I'm going to bring it up again. Now, if I do iwconfig, you see that we are now on monitor mode. And I told you previously that this adapter supports both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, which is the one I'm using now. Now, first we are going to do is what? Scan and sniff data from our network to make sure. Let's scan and sniff data from our network. So I'm going to do something like sudo using airodump. If you do something like this, I want to use airodump, something like this. What is, you see what it means? What is airodump? That's how to know what each command does. You saw that a wireless packet capture tool for aircrack-ng. That is the capture tool. So we're going to use it to capture signals in our environment by doing sudo airodump-ng. --band. I want to use both. Let it sniff both 5 GHz and what? 2.4 GHz, which is represented by what? 5 GHz is represented by A, while 2.4 is represented by, let me close this, Control S so I can see it clearly. So 5 GHz is represented by this A, and 2.4 is represented by this BG. So that's why I'm putting this band. So I wanted to sniff both 2.4 and 5 GHz frequency in my environment. So I'm going to make sure that it also scans for WPS, because I will use it later for another testing. WLAN 0, that is our interface. Okay, let's do iwconfig. It seems that our interface has changed. Okay, WLAN 0. Now let's run the command again. Sudo airodump. So I made a mistake. It should be airodump -ng. Once you correct, it's going to the color will change. WLAN 0. Let's sniff it up. Okay, these are the two networks that my adapter could catch in my environment. These are the ones you can catch within the range. So we have text security 1, we have WannaCry virus T. So let me stop it by doing Ctrl C. Now it has stopped. So I will explain this, and this is the BSS ID you are seeing here is called the MAC address. This thing is the power rating. The power rating, that means how close. So you can see from here that the WannaCry virus T is close to amount of 57. It's closer than what? Text security. These are the beacons it's sending, the data is sending. This is the channel, the encryption that the network is using, the cipher, the authentication, which is pre-shared key, PSK, which is called pre-shared key. So from here you can see that WPS here is 0.0. Here this one is 2.0. Probably this is the version. ESSID is the name of the network, the name, while the BSSID is the MAC address of the network. Now, the same BSSID, this station is the connected MAC address of the client that connected to our network. So we can see from here that this 30 and 40 whatever with MAC address connected to this 39 text security, and this 8A connected to this WannaCry virus T. This is also the power rating. This is the lost. This is probing. This network, this device with this MAC address is trying to connect to this particular device, which is at our WannaCry virus T, with this 58 as the end of the MAC address. So we are done with our scanning. Let's now scan the network specifically and get more information. So what else can we do? I'm going to do sudo airodump. Let me just do airodump. Now I will now do -- bssid. So the bssid I'm going to select is this one. Is this particular network I want to test for text security. That's what I want to test for. So I'm going to sorry for what popped up. Let me close it. So let's get back to what we are doing. So the BSS side of the connected network is what I want to test for this particular network. This is the MAC address of text security. Ctrl+Shift+V to paste on your terminal. Now the channel is what is on channel, as you can see, it's on channel 7. So I'm going to put channel 7. Channel 7. Now I want to write a file. Maybe I will analyze it with Wireshark and see maybe other information I want to see. So I want to write a file. The name of the file I want to write is, I can call this thing, let me call it tech security or TechSec network. TechSec net, and it's on which one? It's on what? W0. This is the interface. So the command is what? Sudo airodump-ng. We are still dumping, but we are focusing on this text security. The previous one we did is to enumerate all of them, but now we are focusing on this text security specifically, and it's on channel 7, as you can see. And we want to write a file called technet. Inside this tutorial folder, I created a folder called tutorial, and the interface of my wireless adapter is WiFi 0, as you saw before. Now I'm going to click on what? Enter. So it is continue to scan. So while it's scanning, I want to capture a handshake. That's my aim. I want to capture a handshake. For me to capture a handshake on this network, I need to deauthenticate. One of the clients. You see handshake here. It will pop up from this on this top. You see handshake. So I'm going to deauthenticate one of these clients. We have only one client connected. So let me split it horizontally too. So let me increase the Ctrl+Shift++ to increase the font size so I can see it on the screen. Now I'm going to run with it air replay. I can also do what is air replay. What the command I'm going to do, what is air replay, is going to tell you what it does. Air replay -ng. You see that it injects packet into wireless network to generate traffic. So we can also use it for what? The authentication by injecting packets. So I'm going to do sudo air replay -ng. Let me just use this because I've done it before. Now I want to deauthenticate and send 5 packets. Let's set 5 packets. If you want to deauthenticate indefinitely, you can put what? 0. But now I want to deauthenticate only 5. So it will only send 5 packets and the device will reconnect. So 5 packets, and the aim is BSSID of this network. So I want to copy the BSSID of this network, which is the network we are attacking, with this end with 39. So okay. Now I want to put the BSSID of the connected clients. This is the connected clients, the one that connected to us. It's called clients. And the wireless interface is W0 I'm using. Now this is the BSSID of the network, and this is BSSID of the connected clients. If I remove this -C, it's going to deauthenticate every client. If there are 20, 30, 50, it's going to deauthenticate every one of them. But right now I want to only deauthenticate what? one client. That's why I put -c. If I put 0 here, it will authenticate indefinitely. If I put 1000, it will only send 1000 packets. Right now I want to send only 5 packets just in a short while because I need a handshake. Okay, let's do it now. We just be looking at this top. You see handshake pop up at the top in this first tab here. You see handshake here. Now let me run it. WLAN 0. Everything's okay. Let me put my password. So it's sending the beacon. You see handshake pop up there. You're going to send 5 times. And it's going to reconnect. Now let's watch whether I go to see any handshake. It's going to pop up at the top. Okay, you have gotten the handshake after sending out the authentication. See the handshake. Look at the handshake. As you can see, WPA handshake. So let me close this airodump. Close it. Remember, for you to do this thing, you must be running airodump together with what? aircrack-ng. Both of them must be running simultaneously. Now, I've gotten the handshake. What am I going to do with the handshake? I'm going to use it together with what? I'm going to use it. Let me show you the handshake, by the way. Let me show you the handshake. If I do something like this, if I do something like ls inside this folder, you see the handshake I've gotten. .cap, this is the handshake I've gotten for this tech. I name my handshake TechSecNet. That means Tech Security Network. That's what it means. That's what I named it. My name of my handshake. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to try and know whether we can crack our handshake. This will help you to know how weak passwords is a vulnerability. A weak password is a vulnerability. It's a weakness in a system. That's why I need to use a strong password. So let me start by cracking the handshake. Now, to crack the handshake, I'm going to do sudo with aircrack. You can also go with what aircrack is, or use what is on your terminal. aircrack-ng. Name of my handshake is called what? TechSec. You can press tab to autocomplete. I need .cap file. That's what I need. .cap file. And I need my word list. I want to use this rawq.txt as my word list. Let me close this. This place will be authenticated with our tab. Let me Ctrl L so I can see the terminal fully. Ctrl Shift plus. Now let's begin our cracking of the password. Wow, so fast. The password was found so fast. So the name of the password, because I just put the password inside the word list. If you check the word list, cat WP if I do this cat rawq.txt, you see the, let me just open it in another tab. If I cat rawq.txt, so you see there are many passwords. This is almost 500 password list. So it went through each of them. I just made it so it can be snappy and fast. So you can also use the main word list, maybe that has up to 10 million word list, 20 million word list. It can go through them, but I just use this particular one. So we have cracked, or we have breached this network. This will help you to know how to secure. I didn't mean this particular. Look at what I'm showing you. It found the key to be what? Sorry for the disturbance. It found the key to be what? Donald Trump. That's the password I use. So if I didn't mean I put maybe asterisk, numbers, capitals, small letters, alphanumeric, it's going to take time for this thing to work, and sometimes it may not work because it follows the password policy. But this one does not follow the password policy. All of them are small letters. Maybe if all of them are numbers, it doesn't follow the password policy. Must start the list should be 8, which includes alphanumeric and special characters. So we have successfully breached this network. Now, this, as I said, this is going to help you to protect your network. Now, when I did this thing, it saw something like WPS. Let me show what I did. When I ran this airmon-ng, saw something like WPS. Let me show you. Now we saw WPS 2.0, 0.0. This is what we saw, 0.0. If it's locked, you see WPS locked, which is locked. Now we have seen this thing. This is also a security risk. It shouldn't be enabled. Now, if I split something like this, let me split it horizontally and show you what I mean. This WPS. If you want to pen test your WPS, you can use a particular program called what? Wash. See, wash, or let me even use sudo in case. Sudo wash -- interface while in Zelo. Let's search for WPS or the device that has WPS enabled. Okay. Let's scan. It's scanning. Oh, let me close this, by the way, so I can have a successful scanning. So you can see, is it locked? It said no. You can say scan all. So this particular one, I've closed my airodump. So I also scan with this wash. It's called wash program. So is it locked? It said no. So this is the ESS ID, which has vendor is Mediatek. So this is the channel. So if you want to go further, you can use a program called, let me Control C it. Let me stop it. Let me close this particular tab. You can use a program called what? Wash. How do I, or River? I've used wash, called River. So I'm going to do sudo river -- bssid. bssid I want to use is this one. Is it river? Now, and bssid, the channel is what? Is channel 11. This one I cry. If I want to check one I cry, it said locked is no, channel 11. And what again? I'll put interface to be while on 0. You can put this in. This thing means verbose. Let me just remove this thing and explain. This means very verbose, very verbose. Make it print everything on the screen without error or anything. Let it be printed on the screen. Let's run it and see how it works. So it's sending packets. It's sending packets to it to try different pin. It's trying different pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. This up to 8 pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. So it's going to send different pins. It's trying sending different pins. So if you are using pin, very easy pin, or in fact it's good to disable all these things. Once you are using pin, somebody can enter your network using WPS. WPS is a feature that allows you to enter a network without password. So this is also a security risk. It shouldn't be enabled. It shouldn't be enabled because it has only 8 pins. Some network will block you. Let me check whether it has blocked. Sometimes it will be locked. Let me do Control C and do that thing again. Wash whether it's locked. Sometimes it will tell you lock. Once you try multiple times, you see lock yes here. You see yes here. Once you try multiple times. So what I'm going to do is maybe disconnect all clients or send the DOS attack so that the person can go and return restart his Wi-Fi. So this is how to test your network for security vulnerabilities. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my videos. Also comment so that you won't miss out on any content I upload. Thank you and have a nice day.